Fam, welcome to the continuation of my discovery of Metallica's Black Album. I think how many Metallica songs we covered on the channel? What, 3, 4? During the time of the Black Album, it's really, really crazy looking at some of kind of the research that I'm figuring out, because the Black Album is probably the majority of Metallica fans' favorite album, period. And yet, from the outside looking into this band, it would appear that they're doing amazing. This long-awaited album, it does phenomenal when it drops, right? But internally, the band is experiencing tons of turmoil, right? Lars Ulrich, Kirk Hammett, and Jason Newsted all are going through divorces during the 8-month recording process of this album. And yet there's this guy, Bob Rock, who's kicking the band into shape, forcing them all to come to the studio at the same time instead of just work on their own schedules, kind of do punch-in tracks. So the sound is amazing. What they're accomplishing nowadays during, the release of this album is just phenomenal. And from the outside, it just looks like, man, the band is really solidifying and getting into their creative process and becoming more of an integrated whole. And yet their internal lives are in complete disarray and turmoil, right? Fam, without any further ado, we're going to let these guys cook. This one is called Enter Sandman. Let's see what they're talking about. Yeah. Talk to me, please. They're changing it up like every 4 bars. Ugh. Do you hear how every 4 bars there's a little progression that just makes it a little bit more threatening? Because you're starting off with the then it's like then it's it's like it's just getting a little bit more threatening every 4 bars. They turn it up a bit. Listen to that. That beat is fire. Hang on one sec, fam. Okay, we're in much better shape. Guys, don't let it be lost on you, please. Say your prayers, little one. Don't forget, my son, to include everyone. Why does everyone need to be included in my prayer? What happens if I forget them? Well, bad things can happen to people if you don't remember to pray for them. These are the things that little kids think about, after the prayers, after you say your prayers and you tuck in at night, you know what I'm saying? Pray for their protection. Protection from what? Well, the myriad of evils, of course, that are waiting for you in the darkness.
Sleep with one eye open.
Right.
Gripping your pillow tight. Exit light. Enter night. Take my hand. Off to never, never land.
Exit light, enter night. Exit light means exit clarity, right? And night represents chaos, of course. Your mind is wandering. You're a little kid and you're in the dark, and your brain just kind of starts wondering and making stuff up. You remember the intro? I almost want to start the whole song over so you can hear this intro again. Listen, listen, listen. Imagine being a little kid in bed, right? This is kind of what it's like. The lights are on. You're starting to get sleepy a little bit. Your parents are there tucking you in. This is kind of the calm part, right? You're like, okay, everything's good. I feel safe. But then the lights go out and say, hey, it's bedtime. You know what I'm saying? It starts to get a little bit more aggressive. You can hear your heartbeat, you know? And then you start looking at things and things kind of start taking shape. You know, you see the thing hanging in the closet that are closed, but it kind of looks like a monster. You know what I'm saying? Like, you hear how it's intensifying, right? It's getting worse as you wait. That's how the mind wanders when light exits and when night enters, right? They did that so perfect. Talk to me, baby. I just wanted y'all to see the escalating intensity of that intro and how intentional that was.
Say your prayers, it's a one. Don't forget my son to include everyone.
Acts.
I tuck you in, all within, keep you free from sin till the Sandman he comes.
Keep you free from sin, right? And the wages of sin is death. Don't we tell kids all kinds of problems that arise from sin, all kinds of consequences? You know what I mean? And then they invent their own.
Sleep with one eye open, gripping your pillow tight. Exit light. And tonight, take my hand. Off to never, never land.
We're off to never ever land, never land. That's scary because who knows where that place is? I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, of course, I believe that Never Land is the dream world, right? You don't know whether it's going to be lollipops and ice cream and, you know, or is it going to be like demons and dragons and the monsters that you're afraid of, right? What's going to be awaiting you in Never Land? Right. And so you find yourself kind of trying to stay awake and being kind of hesitant to fall asleep, and you're surrounded by darkness. Right. Guys, what is the pertinence of making a song about this? Right. Let me know in the comments. What tools can we take from this very, very true experience that we've all had?
Something's wrong, shut the light. Heavy thoughts tonight, and the honors the white. Dreams of war, dreams of lies, dreams of dragons fire, and of things that will fade. Yeah. Sleep with one eye open, gripping your pillow tight. Exit light. And tonight, take my hand. Off to never land.
Guys, I used to be so scared of Never Land. I had night terrors. Guys, leave it in the comments below if you, like me, had night terrors at night, right? It got to the point where I created a psychotechnology. Even as a young person, I would think, okay, what if the monster gets me? What is its intention for me, right? I would go all the way there, right? What does the monster intend to do with me? And how long will that situation last before I'm out of the pain and suffering of it, right? I would really go there. I go all the way there, right? So it's like, let's say Freddy Krueger gets me. Then he has kind of the thing, and he's like stabbing me and killing. How long does it take for Freddy to kill somebody and have that experience be over? You know, I would like time it in my mind. It's like, okay, it's like, you know, if this happens to me, then okay, I'm pretty much dead in like, 2 minutes. Bro, I used to go to weird places. Yeah.
Take my hand. Off to never land.
Guys, I have prayed this prayer before. And for those of you who can hear, he's citing this prayer. Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. And he's having this child repeat it, right? And I don't think, the parents who kind of had their children recite this were maybe unaware of how deep the child's imagination is going during that time, right? Like those of us who truly take it on, it's like the parents have taken that they've had enough experiences where they can take a prayer like that for granted and just be like, okay, don't think too deep into it. This is just kind of us honoring God. It's a tradition. But for children, they take these things very literally, right? So it's like, I pray the Lord my soul to keep means he might not keep my soul. So there's a potential that, I'm saying, this is a prayer. This is a subjugation. I'm asking. What happens if the Lord doesn't keep my soul? If I die before my wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take. What if the Lord doesn't take my soul? What happens then? Right? How can I have assurance that this prayer will be answered in the affirmative? It's like some children, actually, they think about these things at night, And this song kind of captures and is a voice for those experiencing that kind of, psychological tyranny, let's say.
Hush, still, baby, don't say a word. And never mind that noise you heard. It's just the piece under your bed, in your closet, in your head. Exit light, and tonight, grain of sand. Exit light, and tonight, take my hand. Off to never, never land. Yeah, yeah. Yo.
You can hear it becoming nightmarish and dreamy. Right? I love when the music is obedient to the subject matter. That was fire. Yo, that one was dark. Guys, you have to listen to that one with a sense of perspectival knowledge. I don't know what to say to people who haven't really been through it. Certain people just kind of never had those experiences. But, there was a saying, and I don't know who said it. I don't want to misattribute the quote, but that the frontal lobe developed so that our ideas can die instead of ourselves. Or maybe it's, hypotheses exist so that our ideas can die instead of ourselves, right? We want to sacrifice ideas as opposed to sacrificing members of our tribe to these mistakes. So we think in hypotheticals. What if I do this? That's not a good idea. That could end in death. What if I do this? That's not a good idea. But there's certain things that seem like better ideas, but there's always some faith required. There's always some uncertainty, right? All throughout our day. We're just living in not knowing. We don't know if today is the last day that we'll have on this earth. We've tried our best to calculate and to, be reasonable enough to assume that, hey, I probably got all my ducks in a row to where I'm probably not going to die today. But we never know, And, there's a very strange thing that happens in the mind of a developing child where they're going from the everything is safe and secure because of mom and dad, period, into this, wow, you know what? I've made enough mistakes and experienced just enough physical pain where my imagination just starts to run loose on, what the potential is that I could experience real pain or even death. And it gets even worse when you start imagining like the afterlife and who's in control of that. shout out to Metallica for bringing those ideas to the forefront, regardless of whether or not we wanted to re-experience it, right? Salute, family. What's next from Metallica? Should we just do an entire Black Album listen through? Let me know in the comments below.